Fighters, step into the arena. In 1994, Killer Instinct stormed the arcades and unleashed a roster unlike anything the fighting world had ever seen. Cyborg assassins, raging werewolves, ancient warriors, and monsters born of Ultratech's darkest experiments, all clashing in a tournament where only the strongest survive. But every fighter enters this battle with a purpose, with a story, with a motivation that fuels their fight. Today, we're uncovering the dark secrets and burning rivalries behind every character from the original Killer Instinct. This is their story.
Orchid is a secret agent sent by an unknown group to investigate the mysterious disappearances that surround the Killer Instinct tournament. Her true identity and abilities are shrouded in secrecy. For many years, Black Orchid has been amongst the code-named elite of a professional spy organization working for the greater good of society. Her past remains hidden, including some things of which even she is unaware. She won't find out for some time yet that Jago is actually her brother. Realizing that clear evidence of Ultratech's crimes and dark ambition is proving impossible to come by, she eventually decides that the only way into the company is also the most dangerous, straight through the open front door. Once her superiors are persuaded of the necessity, she goes ahead and enters the tournament. Escaping unscathed with vital information about the corrupt future plans of Ultratech, Orchid rushes back to report. Informing her superiors of Ultratech's evil intentions, they can now act in bringing about the destruction of the corruption presiding there.
Cinder was a convicted criminal who agreed to participate in Ultratech's chemical weapons test in exchange for early parole. A failed experiment turned him into a being of living flame. He has now been offered freedom if he can defeat Glacius in the Killer Instinct tournament. Ben Ferris, a small-time criminal with counts of assault, breaking and entering, and arson on his record, is the latest convict to be bought out of jail for Ultratech's twisted uses. His fate is to be used as a human guinea pig in the company's chemical weapon developments, an unexpected side effect leaving him consumed by fire, but somehow, much to his own horror, still alive. He is kept confined in a top security block until Ultratech decide to enter him into the tournament under the codename Cinder to defeat Glacius fairly and in full public view, his freedom providing the ultimate incentive. Leaving as the champion of the tournament, a hostile police reception awaits him outside the gates of Ultratech. As no stranger to confinement from his former life of crime, Cinder has no intention of being imprisoned again. Using his newly acquired power, he easily evades the capture attempt, leaving his potential captors in his wake. Picking a location suitable for his current condition, he ponders his next move.
Mystical defender of Native Americans, Thunder enters the contest in order to uncover the mysteries surrounding his brother's disappearance in the previous year's tournament. Long months have passed since the previous year's Ultratech tournament, and despite the wide-ranging searches of his tribe's supernatural phoenix allies, the chief's beloved but overambitious younger brother has failed to return in either triumph or defeat. After much agonizing over the matter, and to great protest from his tribesfolk, Thunder decides that he must suspect the worst concerning Eagle's fate, and pacifies his people by nominating himself as Avenger. The chief has no dreams of glory, taking up Ultratech's challenge with nothing but vengeance and a primal justice in mind. After discovering the fate of his brother, Thunder contemplates the future and mourns the loss of Eagle, but, with his death avenged, the soul of Eagle can finally rest in peace forever. Or can it?
A prototype cybernetic soldier developed by Ultratech, Fulgore was entered into the Killer Instinct tournament as a final test of its combat capabilities. Once its abilities are proven, mass production will begin. One of Ultratech's latest creations and possibly the most dangerous to date, Fulgore is the first in a planned series of cyber soldiers boasting state-of-the-art armories, worked at feverishly over the last few years by a particularly erratic Ultratech genius and his team of Asian engineers. Dark rumors abound as to where the prototype's human parts originated, the kind of rumors nobody dares voice. The rumors say the human parts originated from a human organ harvesting operation based in Moscow. Before the Fulgore MK1 model is even finished, the scientists are already working on an upgrade. And to prove the prototype's ultimate worth, it is entered into the tournament with orders to destroy all opposition. The combat test of the Fulgore series Assault Cyborg has been a success. Mass production can now take place. After years of research, a weapon of awesome power is in the hands of Ultratech. The dawn of a robot-controlled empire will soon begin. The first prototype model, Fulgore 1, is deactivated and placed in a museum. The only humans left to view it are now slaves.
Glacius is an alien being from a distant planet. When his ship space crash-landed on Earth, he was captured by Ultratech. Hoping to prove these alien beings to be inferior, Ultratech forces him to fight for his life in the Killer Instinct tournament. Wandering the galaxy in search of new life, a curious Glacius skins too close to the Earth and, sucked in by its gravitational field, crash-lands deep in the heart of a snowbound mountain range. Groggy but counting himself lucky to be alive, he surveys the damage and sets out in the hope of finding the parts he needs. The history books of Glacius's race warn of the humans' unreasoning brutality, but surely they exaggerate? Unfortunately, the alien will soon have time to regret his trusting nature when Ultratech capture him for use in their own unique brand of scientific research. After escaping from the grasp of Ultratech, Glacius finally returns to the site of his crashed spaceship. With the advanced technology present in Ultratech, Glacius takes the materials he needs and repairs his damaged ship. With memories of the evil he faced there fading slowly, Glacius begins the long and arduous trip back to his home world.
Jago is a mysterious warrior monk from a remote region of Tibet. Guided by the powerful tiger spirit to seek his destiny, he has been led to the Killer Instinct tournament to destroy the evil within. Found abandoned as a baby at a Himalayan monastery and taken in by the monks of the tiger, Jago showed great promise from the start, and under the tutelage of the ancient abbot has swiftly become one of the order's star pupils. During meditation, he is visited by the very tiger spirit his order serves, which grants him great powers and chooses him to battle the sinister evil of Ultratech. At first, the power threatens to overwhelm Jago's sanity, but he soon masters it and becomes the finest warrior the order has yet fathered. The ever-present uncertainty as to his origins, however, still troubles him. Jago returns victorious to his shrine for communion with the tiger spirit. By defeating the evil that existed at Ultratech, Jago is brought one step closer towards total enlightenment. Granted new powers for his loyal service, Jago strives for self-improvement. He must now seek out a greater challenge and fulfill his destiny. Sabrewulf is afflicted with the rare disease, lycanthropy. Although he has spent most of his life as a recluse, he enters the Killer Instinct tournament on the promise of a cure if he is victorious. Since the day when a wolf bite left him afflicted with a particularly virulent strain of lycanthropy, Count von Sabrewulf has lived in exile in his remote mountain tower, shunned by society and struggling with insanity as his disease grows steadily worse. A handful of years back, his worst nightmare was realized when he failed to revert to human form at all. Every rumor of a possible cure has been at best a hoax, so when a message arrives promising salvation should he enter and win the Ultratech contest, Sabrewulf is highly suspicious but obliged to seize any chance that comes his way. With victory, Sabrewulf obtains the cure he sought for so long from the hands of Ultratech. Cured at last of his curse, Count von Sabrewulf can return to leading a normal existence. Spinal's origin is a closely guarded secret of Ultratech, a secret branch of the corporation, using a variety of special techniques, have succeeded in reviving an ancient warrior. With only the vaguest memories of his past life, Spinal knows how to do only one thing: fight. A legendary warrior over 2,000 years ago, the thing now known as Spinal has been torn from the peace of death by Ultratech's cell regeneration experiments. Trapped in the new world, he has no choice but to obey orders despite his reluctance, and to make things worse, he begins to suffer tormenting flashbacks to the ancient life he can never quite remember. After the awe and wonder he inspired when first unveiled to the public this year, Spinal finds himself in the shadow of Ultratech's latest creations, Fulgore, Riptor, etc., and
Filled with resentment, he sets out to prove his worth. Tired of constantly being surrounded by death and destruction, Spinal decides on a career break. Although nominated for an Oscar for his first film, Spinal still has great difficulty finding roles that have meat to them.
A product of Ultratech's DNA manipulation project. By splicing human and reptilian genes, they have created a fighting creature with animal ferocity and human intelligence. Another of Ultratech's miraculously realized concepts, a crossbreed of human and reptilian DNA, resulting in a creature that combines formidable intelligence with sheer brute strength. Nurtured from the egg by a dedicated Ultratech professor and her team, the beast, nicknamed Riptor by others, has barely reached 4 years of age before it first demonstrates its full savage power in a human kill. Riptor is confused and often finds itself torn between human reasoning and predatory instincts, resorting to attack when it fails to understand the situation, as ever more people find out the hard way. Ultratech's plans at creating a genetically engineered weapon have escalated beyond even their control. By toying with the laws of nature, Ultratech have finally doomed the human race. Dinosaurs once again rule the Earth.
TJ Combo was once the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world for 5 years straight. He was stripped of his title for his use of cybernetic enhancements in his arms. He fights to regain his lost fame and fortune. Having to fight his way from a seedy backstreet gym to the world heavyweight title through sheer raw power and aggression, after 5 years at the top, TJ Combo Garrett is brought crashing down by his own overwhelming greed. Having blown most of his cash on titanium arm implants to ensure that the title remained his, Combo is stripped of his belt, wealth, and public respect when the Ultratech surgeon who performed the operation sells his story to the media. Furious and humiliated, Combo returns to his old ghetto haunts and vows to defy the world at large in reaching the top once more. With victory in the tournament, Combo has finally achieved his ambition to regain his lost fortune and popular status. Once a nobody from the ghetto, Combo celebrates his win and newfound wealth by parading through those same streets. With money and fame at his side, Combo believes he can now achieve anything.
Eyedol is Ultratech's trump card. Remember the warlords from the prologue story? Well, Eyedol is one of them. Ultratech scientists snatched him out of limbo to do battle with the finalist in this year's Killer Instinct tournament. Little did they realize what kind of power they were releasing when they set Eyedol free from his magical prison. Eyedol and his greatest rival, Gargos, known only in the modern world to the monks of the Tiger as the great spirit they serve, were the last surviving warlords of ancient times, battling for ultimate control of the land. The heroes of the age joined together to banish them to limbo, and for 2,000 years there they stayed. But now Ultratech's meddling has resulted in a device that can scan the void for life, and despite their efforts to shut it down before anything nasty gets out, a weakened Eyedol manages to break through at the last minute, right into the company's scheming hands. Eyedol's ending is actually a joke ending that parodies Blanca's ending from Street Fighter II. The name was changed from Jimmy to Billy, probably as a reference to British pop singer Billy Idol.
And that's the complete lineup of every character's backstory and motivation from Killer Instinct 1994. It's wild to see just how much lore was packed into a fighting game from the arcade era long before deep story modes became the norm. Which Killer Instinct fighter's motivation do you think was the most badass? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss more fighting game lore and playthroughs right here on the channel. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay sharp and always Combo Breaker.